So using our domain restrictions, the first step is you have to recognize what type of domain restriction you're dealing with. This first one, we have a radical, and since there's no number written, it's assumed to be the square root. Okay, so we have the square root of 4 minus x. And since we have an even radical, that's a 2, okay, we know that what's inside, the part I just highlighted, has to be greater or equal to 0, because it matches this domain restriction. And now we just solve this. This is a linear inequality, so we say 4 has to be greater or equal to x. And then when you shade on your number line, we have 4 right here. And we're going to shade in the circle because it can equal that value. And since 4 has to be bigger than all the values of x that we're going to shade, 4 has to be greater, we are going to shade this direction. And when we write in an interval notation, that means that we have from negative infinity to 4 with the bracket. Okay, some of you are more used to writing this inequality as x is less than or equal to 4. That's totally fine. Okay, some of you would have solved this inequality, 4 minus x is greater than or equal to 0, as negative x is greater than or equal to negative 4, okay, and then when we divide by negative 1, we get x is greater than or equal to, or I'm sorry, that's the part I was going to correct. We get x is less than or equal to 4, which is the same thing that we had over here. You have to remember when you divide or multiply by a negative number in a linear inequality, you reverse the direction of the inequality. So that's why that changes. Remember that when you're solving inequalities.